Hit that, Brad. Hit that, Brad. What's up?
Man, not a whole heck of a lot. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Man, I was not as suicidal as everybody thought I was last week just because the Braves weren't in the series. I'm fine. I just had one of those nights when I came home and I was like, I passed out. I'm like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to talk to the man tonight.
Man, it's totally cool.
Whoopsie-daisy.
Nah, it's totally cool. I was, it's stupid, but pardon me. I love the fact we made the NLCS.
Mhm.
I love the fact that all you got to do is see that team play and you see how exciting they are. But I really was. I was sideswiped by how bummed I was to lose that series. It's stupid. It's stupid, man. Sorry, I was telling the man I ate Taco Bell earlier, so I'm like very congested. I'm sorry about all the coughing and throat. I need a cough button, man. So because I do that, y'all, all the time. I'm very sorry. That's my catchphrase on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can totally dig it. I don't think I could have talked about it last week. And it's not a Dodger thing. 'Cause I like the Dodgers, man. They don't bother me. I actually quite like them. I liked them a lot when I was a kid. When Strawberry went there, I was like flipping because I just thought that was cool. He was my favorite player, and we went to the Dodgers. I'm like, oh my god! And he changed his number to 44, and I'm like, I love this. There's the set. I think it's 1993. I think Fleer had some god awful cards in the '90s.
Oh, yes.
The
Oh, did they ever?
92s. I'm pretty sure the 92s were the yellow ones, the god awful yellow bordered ones, because the Provisions were in there. So I had a million of them trying to get the Provisions because God knows those were incredible.
91, I think.
Is that right, man? I know it's in there somewhere, man.
I loved them at the time.
Oh man,
Looking back, I was like, oh, God, these are not good.
Provisions were worth it. They were worth putting up with some trash. But one of the sets was the ones that were like the seafoam green borders, and they had
I think that was 92.
Yeah, 92. That's what I'm talking about. The Daryl Strawberry in that set is so freaking awesome looking. I mean, as god awful as that set is, that card is the best because it's exactly what you think. It's just that Daryl Strawberry pose, got the knee way up. I mean, oh god, it's so cool. I love that card, man. That's something I need to get PSA'd, man. I was watching your video, the unboxing video the other day. I'm totally with you, man. Like the PSA thing, it's not about the grade; it's about that case.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you, man. I know we've talked about it before that the man and I have had many conversations about like foil cards because foil cards make me nuts. Yeah. But then the man started buying them PSA. They got looking at them, and it's not the foil card that's the problem; it's the penny sleeve. So, man, you get them in the PSA case, it doesn't have that. It's like, man, these look real good. It took me a long time to figure out what the deal. I think it was Anderson Simmons was the one that of yours that I was looking at. Like, god dang, that's good looking. And it finally occurred to me what the deal was, and that was it. It's like, man, it's just you're not doling them up. Yeah. They're great. Oh man, no wonder everybody likes these so much, man.
When it comes to the grades, it's kind of like whatever. I just want the card in that case. And absolutely. I've seen that there are videos of guys showing you how to crack them out of there. I'm not brave enough to do that just because I know I would mess it up. And like that's what I wanted it for in the first place. I'll give me a 4 or a 5 as long as it's in that case and I got the card. That's gravy for me.
I completely agree. That's totally my thing. I mean, usually when I go PSA hunting, it's 7 and below because if you find them, they don't really cost anything. I'm totally with you.
There are a lot more 10s out there these days as far as the new stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but at the same time, when people see a 10 on it, they think, well, I can get, an ungodly amount of money for it. And people will try, but then, if it's a 10, so be it. I'll get it. But as long as the price is right, then it doesn't have to be.
As long as you make the price right.
The price right. Talking about brother.
Wale Carbo, a great wrestling promoter. I love that video. I watched that again recently. I rewatched Benny Hinn's Bodies, which it's hard to watch because God, I hate that song. But man, that Benny Hinn video to him just whacking people with that jacket, man, that is hilarious. Hilarious. I love it, man. Absolutely love it, man.
And it was on an episode Being the Elite probably 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know if he even intended for this to be as much of a Ric Flair impersonation as it was to me, but somebody was Scorpio Sky was given a gift to somebody, and he was recording his video as he sent it. He's like, "Hope you enjoyed the gift, brother," as he's like sipping his wine or whatever it was. I don't know if he intended that to be as funny to me as it was, but that's one of the gems from that show that you can go back and, oh, see, there is funny stuff on here. Not much, but there is some funny stuff on here.
I think my the Elite exposure it's down to two things, man. Like I remember the Pulp Fiction shot from the trunk, and I still haven't had any confirmation on whether or not that voiceover was Chris Jericho, but I left a comment on that video years before AEW was a thing. I think that's who that was, just because, like we've talked about, man, this is the Fozzy records. You hear Jericho's voice a lot. I'm like, now I would really like to know. That'd be awesome. Yeah. But anyway, I saw those. There were like 2 or 3 episodes there, and then the one with the T-shirt that I've got with all them dressed up like the Disney characters. I watched that one because I just thought that shirt was so cool. And also, the other thing about that shirt is, I'm very sorry, y'all. Adam Cole is on that shirt, man. And I'm like, that is awesome to have Kenny and Adam and the Young Bucks on one T-shirt, because I never could settle on an Omega T-shirt, and I never could settle on a Young Bucks T-shirt, but I wanted one. So it's like, now that's cool. That's all. And Adam Cole's God. He's God.
Heck yeah.
So
heck yeah.
I was rewatching something the other day, man, and it was about it was like highlight reels and just different stuff people do. And one of the things they had put on there was that freaking super kick that he hit Ricochet with. Ricochet's upside down. I totally forgot about that till I saw it again. I'm like, whoa, my God. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that is just shocking. I can't believe that you would have the balls to try it. I can't believe Ricochet's like, sure, knock it out, let's go.
I trust you, brother.
Yes, yeah, you got it, brother. You go right ahead, Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Great wrestler promoter. That's awesome. I guess I got on the Adam Cole wormhole because obviously he's one of the up, down, like champs. He's on there all the time. But the freaking Among Us stuff between, oh man, what is this? BRE, the best roommates ever, and I can't believe I don't remember the team name, but it's Woods, and it's not really like boys versus girls, but it's presented as boys versus girls, and it's really, man, dude, it's fantastic. It's up, down. Among Us is the game, and it's Woods, Cesaro, Kid, Adam Cole, Shayna Baszler, oh, for Pete's sake, Mia Yim. I'm sorry. Bianca Belair got stuck in my head. And I'm like, no, but Mia Yim and Dakota Kai, who is on all of those. Dakota Kai, I can't believe that's the same person. She is so different when she's out of character, man. It's great. And then Jessamine Duke. And the funniest thing, all of them squabbled at each other because of this, like, whodunit space station murderer Among Us bad guy. And I've played the game, and it's not really my thing because I just don't have a group to play it with. But man, it is a blast to watch people play that thing, and it's great. But man, when you watch all 8 of them play that mess, it was just fantastic. It's like 2 hours long. There's 2 videos, and they're quite in depth. But man, it's totally worth it. It's so much fun, man. But the thing I will warn you about. Warning might be a stupid word, but here's the deal. If you've not ever found yourself attracted to Jessamine Duke before, prepare. Do deep breath exercises, man. Because I mean, I think Jessamine. The thing about Jessamine Duke is she's just very cool looking. The main thing with her is her ink, man. Her freaking arm is beautiful. God, I love her. It's like Ricochet. Ricochet is like just anybody that's got like that much color and that much. I love that kind of stuff. But dude, she's like totally gamer girl with a little hoodie on, and I'm like, I can't believe that's Jessamine Duke. I think she's cute, she's cool, but it's like, my lord, man, I'm distracted over here. That's the thing for Dakota Kai too. She is just the cutest little nugget. It is hard to believe that that's the same person because she's such a good bad guy, and it's like, she's nice as hell. She's so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got way sidetracked on that, but that video, Up, Down's got so much cool stuff anyway. But Among Us was great. Both parts of that are hilarious, man. I love it. It's awesome.
We're talking about the Brave series, and I think one of them got me. So I went into game 6 and 7 just like way overconfident because even I think it's game 5 and what happened and even John Smoltz from the booth is like, well, as they're doing the wrap up after the show, like the fact of the matter is you have Max Reed pitching and you have Ian Anderson pitching game 7. You're going to win 1 or 2 of those games. And I heard that and like, John, you're speaking my language. And it didn't happen. So I was like, even more like, oh God.
We've talked about it before that, I think all the stuff is orchestrated and written down to begin with. And again, I'm not really, all I can assume is that everybody really is as mad at Arthur as I think they are. So Atlanta's new thing. Atlanta has to be the town that never winning is not enough. Just missing out on the lottery every year is not enough. Now we have to be the city where the teams get huge leads and then blow them. Because what's the most famous thing that's ever happened in this town? 28-3. Tom Brady brought back 28-3. And it's like, it's weird because every time I thought on the radio the other day, it's like, clearly the most significant moment in the history of this this town's sports. And I'm like, Braves win, and the 92 NLCS is the most significant moment in sports history in Atlanta. Far more so than there's a new home run champion of all time, and his name is Henry Aaron. Okay, 755 is fine and all, but Braves win. That's number one. Always will be, man. Yeah. The second most significant moment in Atlanta sports history actually took place in Chicago, and it was Michael Jordan robbing Dominique Wilkins. And the reason I feel so confident saying that is, how many people do you ever hear criticize Jordan about anything? It never happens. It does not happen. He is the most deified athlete in the world. But people will give you that side eye when you talk about that. Even Jordan fans are like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, and that's the point. It's like,
that was bullshit.
That's the significant thing. It's like, oh my God, if we're not bowing to Michael, oh wow, yeah, y'all know it. Y'all know it's true. But anyway.
But there is the feeling the whole 28-3 thing gets brought up so much, and it does feel, at least to me, in recent history, that they've never recovered from that. And it's just always there, and it always gets brought up. That's why, with what's going down with the Falcons now, there's going to be a whole new regime. I don't know that got brought up in a conversation amongst some people I was talking to. I don't know how or if you can even trade Matt Ryan, but there's somehow or another he won't be there.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think that the like you were talking about, the notion of when you change all of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's a great point, man. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking get rid of Dimitrov and then we'll see where they go from there. But the idea of, okay, well, you have gotten rid of Quinn. You're right. Mm-hmm. It's a really good point to go ahead and get a tag team in those two spots and then try and get Lawrence. Now, I don't think you're going to – we were talking earlier, man. Mm-hmm. We were talking about Emma Vigeland from the Young Turks, who I love. I think Emma's great. She's my favorite reporter on that network. She's my favorite reporter anywhere. And I didn't realize that she's the monumental New York Giants fan that she is. So Jared and I got talking, and basically our assessment was, man, if you live in Atlanta – and you have pity for somebody's NFL team, boy, that's
saying something. It's I was in and out of the game today, and was watching it, but kind of passing out here and there. And it was the game where Matt Stafford comes back to play in Atlanta for the first time.
Yeah, man.
And I think that it was going into the game when they're doing the pre-show, and the question got brought up to Tony. It's like, how many times did you go back and play in Southern California where you went to school? He said, happened one time. It sucked. Had about 65 tickets. I didn't like it.
Dude, I can dig it. Seriously, man. Oh, Lord.
Everybody wanted to go. And I'm like, buy your own ticket then if you want to go so bad.
Yeah, I know I've told you the story. It reminds me of I saw this interview one time with which one's which? Noel Gallagher is the guitar player, songwriter for Oasis, and he was talking about, family members always coming to me now and they're like, oh, Mr. Man,
big rich Christmas.
Yeah, big rich rock star. What do you give me for Christmas? I said, they got you for Christmas last year, nothing.
Yeah.
So I love that. So they got you last year, nothing.
Yep. You can expect the same. I'll get you the same thing you got me. Whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, for real. Just a full of nothing. Matter of fact, I need to be in you the stocking. We get you an invisible stocking full of nothing.
Enjoy it.
For real. Happy New Year.
Here's to you.
Here's to you.
So, well, so the Falcons game turned out pretty fitting today.
I have not seen the score. The only thing I caught a little bit of the Seahawks and it was the Cardinals they were playing, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? Because that was the whole point.
So.
Oh, man.
That was supposed to be the game that was just going to be the best game in the history of the world.
It's the changing of the guard. Well, Russell Wilson, he's had his moment in the sun. Time to hand it out. And the thing that's funny about Russell Wilson's moment in the sun is everything that man's ever accomplished has only been downplayed endlessly because Tom Brady's still a thing. So we got to talk about Tom Brady. We talk about Tom Brady. Then we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers, who Tom Brady's still better than. We never get to Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers because that's really a better conversation. It's like Russell Wilson's never had his moment in the sun. That's great. He got the big contract, which is great. But it's like, no, all this, well, Russell Wilson's kind of passe. No, he's not. Y'all are crazy. You're crazier than hell.
The Falcons game ended the way it usually does. Matt Ryan drove them down and went up 22-16 with a minute to go after Gurley ran the ball, tried to stop to kill time at the 1 yard line, and crossed the plane. Well, they give Matt Stafford the ball back with a minute to go, and only having to get a touchdown. So they lost by 1 point, 23-2.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I thought, this is my team. This is the jammy jam of this year.
This is what we do here now.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. This is why the Hawks are my favorite, because everyone the Hawks are my favorite because, as we've talked about before, man, if you look at the win-loss records of every team in the NBA and you rank where the Hawks rank in that league, then you just watch them for a good night viewing. That's all you need to know about the NBA, man. If a team that good can rank that badly, it's like, oh, man, if we can be that good and that bad simultaneously, that is a shocking. It's what people keep talking all this junk about, like, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's the European Premier League is the concept that basically European soccer associations are trying to do what you and I have said college football should do and break off, and here's the super teams and everybody else can do what the hell they do. Mm-hmm. And basically it's taking the Champions League concept but making that its own domestic league. So it's always Barcelona versus Paris versus Juventus versus Manchester United versus Bayern Munich. All the top best teams in Europe play in one super league. And people are very fussy about it and very whiny about it. And how, this is just to appease the Americans. And it's like, yep, that's exactly what it's for. And I'm sorry as I can be, but the second the Glazers bought Manchester United and old John Henry Red Sox bought Liverpool, if you didn't know the Yanks were coming to take your league over, it sucks. And I feel real bad for you. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. And it's going to get worse because once you get a European Super League and the Yanks officially run European soccer, you'll have in-game commercials. I'm telling you right now. You think VAR is bad, and it is, because it's just instant replay, and we've discussed many times before what instant replay is about. You're going to find out what picture-in-picture is real soon, and it's going to be, it's already bad, because the thing is, you and I have talked about this, it's something that soccer fans, unfortunately, have had to learn, and it's about the delayed reaction to anything positive. If you follow football in America, little yellow hanky will come out anytime. Yeah, so you get excited, but you're probably going to wind up with egg on your face more times than you like, because penalties happen. Soccer, you don't get as many things to go absolutely batshit crazy over as you do in the game of football. So if you're having that goal orgasm, and then all of a sudden, we need to go watch that again. It's already happened. It's not like, that's going to kill the atmosphere in stadium. It already happened. This is way before COVID really killed atmosphere in stadiums because nobody's there. People are already guarded. You say, yeah, man, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's like, yep, that was always going to be the thing, man. Sorry, it sucks, but I brought that up for some reason. I don't know what the hell it was though. But anyway, the Super League, the European Super League. They keep talking about, well, it's going to be like Europe's NFL. It's going to be like the NFL of Europe. No, it's not. The NFL is a domestic league. The NBA is the one you're aiming for, because as far as the teams are concerned, you've got international flair. There's a Canadian team in there. But the main thing you've got in the NBA is people from everywhere playing that game in one super concentrated league. And that's what the European Super League, or whatever they call it, European Premier League, that's what that'll be. Because instead of having top players from all over the world sprinkled in various countries, they will go to one of 20 clubs, which they pretty much do anyway, but they'll all be playing each other all the time. I hate it as far as the domestic game. I hate it. But at the same time, hey, man, if it gets the ticket prices to go down, maybe that would be cool. If actually going out and watching the local team is something you could afford to do, because that's the main thing. Soccer is like every other sport, everything here. There is no fun little jaunt to the ballpark. Everything is expensive all the time. So, like, crap, man. Anyway, got sidetracked. But yeah, what Europe is trying to get with the Premier League, it's what the NBA already has. If the Hawks have as bad a record as they have and they play the way they play, it's like, my God, how good is this league? And the answer is shockingly great.
Yeah.
Love it, man. And they're getting fired up and started up again real soon too. I already can't wait. I just love basketball, and I love basketball. There's no real way to describe what the emotion that I feel about Hawks basketball. I can't wait. It's been a long time since the Hawks played a game, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing them again.
Yep. They'll be kicking back around soon.
Yeah, it's weirdly soon. You're right, man.
Well, one of the things I was excited for last night, and I don't mean to sound like I didn't enjoy the show, but I watched Adele hosted Saturday Night Live last night. And one of the things that was fun was turning on the show, and it's got acknowledged in her opening monologue. I just assumed, okay, you have a person like Adele hosting the show, she's got to be the musical guest, and her was a musical guest. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean, that's a win-win. You get Adele and her. But in her opening monologue, she said, people have asked me why I'm not the musical guest, and the fact of the matter is the album's not done. And I'm like, well, why are you on the show? But point is, Adele showed up looking awesome like she has the past couple months, and I brought up on Joe Rogan when the photos of her came out and all her weight loss. He's like, and people were hating on her for it. He's like, why would anybody hate on somebody for getting in better physical condition? He said, I just can't understand that. She looks better, is better. So, and the fact of the matter is she still sang anyway. So it was kind of the fun skit to go track down is Adele on The Bachelor.
Oh man,
was the big skit. So every thing that comes up is one of her songs. And it wasn't the first time that I heard an Adele song, but it was probably about at least 3 or 4 seasons ago now. It was around the Thanksgiving episode, and there was a sketch. It wasn't even a sketch. It was one of the pre-tapes where there's this family sitting around the Thanksgiving table, and everything that comes up is like this touchy situation in the family, and the song "Hello, It's Me" starts playing, and I didn't realize it was an Adele song, and I thought, why is this supposed to be funny? What is going on here? And after the fact, I realized what was funny. The point is, Adele was on the show, and I enjoyed it, and it was a ton of fun. But it was one of those episodes that it really reminded, and I forget sometimes just how much I am sick to death of the political cold open. The political cold open has been a staple for 8 years now.
Since the
seems like a solid 4, at least 8, and
since the Myers regime. That's one of the negative holdovers from the Seth Meyers, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. And I love Tina and Amy, but Got it.
And
You know what? It's on them too, and I can't say it's not. But ever since when Myers was head writer, that's where every single week we've got to do something from the headlines.
And the thing, and when it's a guaranteed Trump, Biden, whoever related cold open, I've got it timed down. You wait, you tune in about 11:40 and you can skip it.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you'll miss it.
But the reason why it struck me as just such a problem last night is there's so many freaking good people on that show now. That's a spot taken. You've got the cold open that they're not going to be a part of, because apparently Maya Rudolph is back on the show now too, just to do that.
No shit.
And that's a dumb thing to complain about, but she's not only in that, but she's peppered in through the show. Like that's a spot that somebody needs that you're taking. And Alec Baldwin playing Trump, it hasn't done it for me for a long time, and I'm just ready for it to go, and hopefully it will be over soon, because that was another sketch that they did last night when they were talking about this election finally being over, and it's everybody doing their testimonials into the camera like, well, what are we going to talk about?
Dude, seriously.
And he's like, of course it's Pete Davidson and he wasn't playing, they weren't playing themselves, but they kind of were, when he was like, well, it's not like he's going to go away, because there's still about 3 or 4 things out of that Twitter that's like, that's legit funny. He's legit funny. So it's not like he's going anywhere. But I don't know why. It's just when you have the cold open wrapped up, none of the current cast, very rarely, if they're a part of it, they're not headlining. You've got at least two musical performances, which there was a time, the Saturday Night Live, that's all I watched it for, was the musical guest, so yeah, I can't complain about that. But you have a solid 10 to 15 minutes a weekend update that, yeah, some of the current cast can get out there and do their thing, but it's just it feels like there's so many good people on that show now. That's just more time that they can't work themselves in. I'm just sick of it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the endless cameos I've been over for quite a long time. Let's bring the A-lister of the week and put them out. It's what you're talking about, but it reminds me also, it's like Vince, just this endless. Hey, Bill Goldberg, you want to come back for a title match? It's like, dude, good God, it is unbelievable how many people. And this will veer into something else. Somebody had made this comment, and it sucks. It's one of those things. It's kind of like realizing what instant replay is. It's kind of like realizing that, yeah, American money is going to take over your sport, and they're going to ruin it, because American money only cares about more money, and you don't really get that from the game. You get that from the pictures that show up in the game that advertise stuff. So VAR's bad, picture-in-picture's worse. You'll see, and it sucks. You'll see. But it reminds me of just endless cameo season. Reminds me of, like we talked about, you've got so many people that deserve better than they're getting in pro wrestling. And the comment that I left was, I thought the repeated ball dropping of Kevin Owens was as bad as I had ever seen. And then Keith Lee got called up. And it's like, man, you want to talk
nothing.
You want to talk about the biggest waste of fucking time. And for Vince to outdo himself for squandering a talent, that's spectacular. For Vince to call up a black kid and do nothing with him, that's just par for the course. But Keith Lee, it only makes me ill because, again, we yank the belt off of him, give it to Karrion Kross for no fucking reason. Then Karrion gets hurt. Yeah. So then we got to get the belt off of Karrion. Now Finn gets hurt. And it's not to say that Keith Lee being there would have kept those guys from getting injured. But you got to be kidding me, man. It drives home. The injuries suck. They really do. But it just drives home. And it really sucks also. You and I talked about our concern beforehand for Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. So, I mean, those guys are going to kill each other. And they tried to. It's like, man, this is pretty much what we thought was going to happen. But the notion, taking that Lee for no other reason but to call him up, was fucking stupid. And then what you do with Keith Lee once you call him up is even worse. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I'll say it for the 10,000th time because this is where I'm at. You know, everything AEW has done with Jon Moxley, I thought that was Steen. I thought that should have been Kevin Owens. That's the guy for that role. That is who they should have approached and backed the Brinks truck up and offered him anything he wanted. That was the guy because he can pull it off and he can actually cut a promo worth of shit. Moxley can't do that. And again, the pre-tape thing doesn't bother me. I think everybody's promo should be pre-taped. My only issue is all of Moxley's are, and no one seems to call him out on it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's either okay or it's not. I think it's okay, but I don't want all these knuckleheads that kill people for, you got to be out in front of the people cutting the live promos, unless your name's Jon Moxley, because I'm telling you, I've never seen anybody. Well, I shouldn't say anybody. He's the new Orton in the sense that, what is up with the collective ass kissing? Why does nobody ever criticize these people for anything? I don't get it, especially Orton, because Randy Orton is the embodiment of everything that people say about Triple H burying guys, John Cena burying guys. And I got no love for John Cena either, but everything people killed that guy for, Orton is that now. That's all Randy does is like, okay, oh, Keith Lee's coming up? Yeah, I'll work that guy first. You get the win, then he's gone. Bray Wyatt? Yeah, I'm going to beat that guy. And then he moves on. It's like, I don't get the appeal. I've never understood the appeal, but I certainly don't understand feeding your entire roster to the guy. But the point being that Kevin Steen, I thought, was the dude that should have been the dude. That was the guy. I thought that was the best way to do it. I also, you know, in Fantasyland, had like the crazy crossover where if you've got Kevin Owens and the Young Bucks in AEW and you've got Adam Cole in NXT, pick up a phone, work something out. Because, dude, if you get Undisputed Era to show up, to beat those guys, to work with those guys, I don't know, it's just weird. It's one of those strange things, more of the same, where I don't know. I just don't understand that stuff. Because what I've been told my entire life capitalism is, that's not capitalism. Because if it was, we would all be concerned about making the most money we possibly could. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. I want to shut your valve off and then get subsidies from the government. That's what I want. That's capitalism now. And that's Vince. That's what Vince wants. It's all like, no. You just crush everybody else, get rid of everybody else's resource. That's the whole point about the tax commission. You know, everybody that whines about what ruined pro wrestling and kayfabe's dead. Yeah, Vince going under oath and telling you it's fake. That's what did that. Now, whether or not you think that's a big deal, that's your opinion. It's okay. Well, as a businessman, you want to save that tax money. That's right. But that's not why he did it. He didn't do it to save tax money. He did it because he knew that you would significantly just absolutely undercut the number of people that gave a shit. They wouldn't care. So the people that are used to his Disney-fied shit will come to him forever, and they're not going to go anywhere else for it because no one cares about it anymore. That's why you do it. Anyway, that's a long, long way of saying that somehow Keith Lee's even worse than what they did to Keith. What they're doing to Keith Lee is even worse than what they've done to Kevin Owens. It's amazing that they can just do this again and again. But like we said, man, that was what frustrated me when they took the belt off Keith Lee. Is like, God damn, I hope they don't call that guy up. And then they did, and they did exactly what you'd expect them to do because this is what Vince do, man. He's god awful. I can't tell you. Excuse me, how happy I am to not watch that shit anymore, because just the residuals, just finding out stuff. Pardon me, it's bad enough.
There's a pay-per-view tonight that I just couldn't bring myself to watch. It seems like, and I just get the news from reviews and on YouTube and podcasts to listen to, and it seems like with YouTube, the new trigger word for everybody that does a review is like, I'm so invested in this feud. I'm like, why?
Yes.
I think you've just forgotten what a good show was.
That's
if you like this feud with Rollins and Mysterio that's played out to death, and the idea that this Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso thing is going to go anywhere, I just don't think you know what a good show is anymore.
The 180 on Roman Reigns is absolutely hilarious because there are people that I hope stretch vigorously before they go into that floor routine. Talk nothing but mad, endless shit about that kid for years, and now all of a sudden, well, he's a heel now. Oh my God, yeah, y'all are so boring. It's like, and I guess my problem, like I've said before, I guess the issue that I have with it is all I've ever cared about in pro wrestling is the physical performance between the bells. I don't care about promos. I don't care about look. I don't care about attitude. I don't care about any of that stuff because I watch other stuff for that. Wrestling's not the one and only thing that I'm into, man. If I want like high drama, if I want acting, I go other places for that. I watch wrestling for the stuff nobody else does except pro wrestlers, the wrestling part of it. So what's really changed? Yeah, what's changed about Roman? Well, suffer succotash. How many years ago was that? Y'all got to let that shit go. Suffer and succotash for Roman Reigns is like the 2011 finals for LeBron James. People that don't like the guy, y'all have strip mined that shit. Move along. You're going to have to find something new. Oh, wait a second. Oh, but Roman's cool now. We like Roman. Why? Because he's a bad guy? Because he's a heel? Yeah, it's so boring. And I love Roman. I'm very happy he's having his trip in the sun. But I don't give a shit about him wrestling either one of the Usos or The Rock or anybody else. It's like, dude, I'm with you. I don't quite get that. But to your point about people just not knowing what's good anymore, that was my thing with the Dinaire Debonair. Yeah. Everywhere I turned, that's all I was hearing about. And people would describe what it was. And I'm like, all right. I mean, the thing is, I love Brian Last's Raw test. He does that a lot. I have something I call the Raw test. And I'm like, man, if I see it and I'm like, yes, this could have been on Raw 6 years ago, it's no good. I think he's right. I totally agree. The reason that we have that, though, is a little different because you've got the camp that will tell you, oh, my God, Jericho's a genius. He's so funny. Oh, my God, Chris Jericho. And wow, MJF, what a singing voice. Oh, my God, they're fantastic. And all that's cool. I'm glad you dig it. But the reason we have this song and dance bullshit in pro wrestling now is Vince McMahon. That's what it is now. So everything, Tony Khan getting blasted for looking like Vince, I don't understand that. It's all he's ever known. Mm-hmm. Vince took the company, took the business over, turned it into this. So bad Saturday Night Live that's what happens. Yeah. That's what happens. The only real difference between the two is that whenever you have writers come up with horrible skits and they want wrestlers to act as opposed to wrestlers writing horrible skits, at least it's fun. It's like the rookies doing the sing for your supper thing at NFL camps. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, the dinner thing, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this won't do anything for me. It's okay, have fun, but I don't think I'll care. And then I finally watched and I'm like, yeah, I didn't care. MJF does have an awesome voice, though. He's got a real good Broadway voice. But who cares? It's just like, this stuff is dumb. It's not for me. But I guess my problem with it is, and this is something Courtney and Last say all the time, they're right. I think they're right, but it's like, man, if this was on WWE TV, and they're not wrong, I think people would shit all over it. I know I would. Just like I just did, because it was on AEW, or it was being on AEW TV. It's that stuff doesn't work. Everybody does good stuff. Well, let me take that back. I assume WWE still does some good stuff. I'm not going to find out. I'll take your word for it, but I'm not watching that jump to find out. Yeah. But it just surprised me how culty that got, and it was just like, geez, okay, y'all. All right, I'll check it out. All right, I'm fine. I'm pretty sure I know how I'm going to feel about it, but I'll check it out. And then I checked it out, and I felt exactly like I thought it would. Like, whatever, man.
Yeah. Not what I was here for.
Yeah, it's just not it's not the stuff that I dig. And I don't know, man. But I don't remember who it was I was listening to, but they were talking about Kenny Omega's intro the other night with the sweeper girls and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, man, the cleaner's back. And I'm like, sounds familiar, doesn't it? We talked about it. You and I absolutely. I think you and I pegged that for what they were going to do, and it's like, I don't know if Omega's going to be the one to take the belt off of Moxley. Probably shouldn't be. You want a transitional champ between the two? That's totally okay. That's fine, man. But when Omega gets that thing, he gonna have that thing for a hot minute. I think that's how they should blow off him and Hangman. I think Hangman should be the one that takes the thing off Moxley because he was scheduled to be there first anyway. That's what I would do. I would have Hangman Page beat John Moxley, defend against Pac if you can get him back in the country. Pardon me. And then that's how I would pay off the Kenny and Hangman feud is Kenny eventually beats him for the thing. That's what I would do.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think it would work, and it would make me happy. But
Heck yeah.
it's just weird. People are strange about Omega, but Omega is kind of like you talked about. People just don't know what good is anymore, and you're right. I think that happens a lot, and it goes the other way too. People's thing with you and I talked about this for a long time with Kenny Omega, though. Kenny's had some matches that I really, really like without a guy named Okada. But he ain't never had a match like the ones he's had with Okada with anyone except Okada. Okada, on the other hand, the Omega stuff is special, but I love Kenny Omega, but Okada is better than everybody. That's okay. That's totally all right, man. To say that Okada is the special one in that equation, I just think it's okay. I'm perfectly comfortable saying that, but it's not to say that Kenny can't have a good match, because he does. I think Kenny has good matches all the time. I love the guy, but I like the idea of, if we want to go back to Cleaner and Terminator and him killing people, let's do it, man. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
I can get down with that. I can get behind that.
You was talking about listening to podcasts. You said you heard something on 83 Weeks.
Yeah, that's right. I meant to say earlier about the transition on WCW, and I forgot about it. Thank you, man. This is old. This is very old news, so I'm sorry to break the old news, but I had never heard it before. Mm-hmm. I stumbled the other day upon the Starrcade 96 Eric Bischoff, Conrad Thompson meltdown. I had never heard that before. And I love it. Oh, man, I'm not going to ruin it then. I will send it to you, and I'll try and timestamp it.
Go ahead.
I kid you not. It's going to sound like I'm lying. It's going to sound like I'm lying. But Conrad Thompson loses his mind. I love it because Bischoff.
When he does that, he does it pretty well.
It's fantastic. And Bischoff is such a liar and a smarmy piece of shit anyway. But they're talking about the Nick Patrick fast count and how it wasn't a fast count. And discussing why it wasn't a fast count, what happened, who was the mistake, who dropped the ball, la-di-da. And Bischoff is just like a maybe bullshit story over here and here. And we couldn't put the belt on Sting because his head wasn't in the game. He just wasn't there. Talked to Hulk. His body, he wasn't in shape, and he was kind of pale. He didn't have we would have liked him to be a bit more tan, la-di-da. But he just wasn't ready mentally. He wasn't there. And Conrad is basically like, I'm asking you why Nick Patrick wasn't fired. You fired people at the drop of a dime. But this guy was supposed to do a fast count to then have Bret Hart jump in and save the day. And he didn't fast count. Why, A, and B, why wasn't he fired? Bischoff starts the shit over again, man, about this la-di-da and woo-hoo and look-a-brew. And Conrad is all like, you fucked the finish over a goddamn teddy bear. Are you fucking kidding me? It's hilarious, dude. It is just awesome because the point he's trying to make is that
Hogan told him not to, didn't he?
That was the high water mark. That was WCW's high water mark. You pay that story up. It was only ever going to go down from there anyway, but at least you would have had the rosy nostalgia of finishing it off. But you didn't, because Hulk told Nick Patrick to count it straight, because that's what Hulk does. It wouldn't have made Hulk Hogan a dime more to do that. It doesn't make any sense, Conrad. Why would Hulk Hogan do that? Hulk's not going to do that. And then Conrad tries to explain, like, because Hulk Hogan is trying to make sure he is in the main event over the next 3 pay-per-views. Well, it's the most cut and dry thing in the world, but basically it's just Bischoff trying to defend Hogan, and Conrad calls him out.
That sounds right.
I'm not going to let you sit up here and lie about it, man, when you yourself have told us that he'll reach up and grab that old Fu Manchu and say, it doesn't work for me, brother. And it's like, you've already told everybody that Hulk does this. You can admit it now. Everybody knows that's what happened. Just admit it. Well, but Sting, and then just goes on the 10-minute tirade. It was, dude, I wasn't ready for it. I popped out. I was laughing my rear end off because he just lets him lie for about an hour and a half. And he hits the wall, baby. He hits it. I'm like, so go on, Conrad. All right.
Yeah. That's the fun thing about. I like Conrad's shows, and would go back, and there's just some of those. I guess it'd be fair to call it a meltdown. Was when he would get to talking with Bruce, and there's sometimes that Conrad, it feels like. So, I guess sometimes it's the interviewer mindset of, I've got the answer in mind and I didn't get it. So I ask this again and he still didn't get it. Now I've got to ask it again. And he'll just flip out. But then there's sometimes that he just will not take, I don't know, as an answer. That no. You have to know.
Yeah, what it sounds like to me is that there's, especially with someone like Bischoff, who's all like, well, I was there, I was booking it, I was doing it. And that's the impression I get from Conrad Thompson is like, motherfucker, I do know. Mm-hmm. I know exactly what happened. I know what the answer is. Mm-hmm. You were there. So you come on and tell me. And that's the impression I get is all like, I already know the answer, dick. Mm-hmm. I'm giving you the
You're going to say it.
To be honest, or I'm going to gut you. And that's definitely the thing with Bruce, because Bruce, Jesus Christ, I mean, if there's a bigger liar in pro wrestling not named Paul Heyman, that's all you ever hear about Bruce. That's all you ever hear is he's just a piece of shit. He's just awful. But anyway, I love Conrad killing as Eric Bischoff was great. The only thing that I would have added, the only thing I wish he would have said was, "You telling me you ruined the finish over a tanning bed? That's ridiculous, Eric. Don't get up here and lie to my people. SaveForConrad.com." That was the only thing that rant was missing was a plug for Save for Conrad.
I'm the one that cares. Yeah, but it's that kind of mindset of you can't be on the show week in, week out, touting yourself for having your hand in everything and knowing everything that's going on, and then this one situation comes up like, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened there. Yes, you do.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was wild.
That was kooky.
Yeah, that was great. Nick Patrick, who knew?
Yeah.
It's like, Eric, are you telling the truth, huh?
What? Wait, what now?
I do, huh? What?
What's that? And I know it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, but it's one of those kind of funny things that I'm sitting there watching YouTube the other night, and there's constant. If it's not a political ad in the middle of a YouTube video, it's a rarity these days. I'll be ready for that to be over soon, as well as the cold open on Saturday Night Live. But these stupid ass Uber Eats commercials with Patrick Stewart and Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching YouTube the other night, and I know even on some podcasts you listen to, there's local ads. And there was a YouTube ad that came on in the middle of whatever I was kind of just zoned out watching. What felt like Mark Hamill was in his stupid Uber Eats thing and turned right to me and was like, and did a local ad. I was like, oh man, Mark Hamill knows me.
That's crazy, man. Luke Skywalker. And Luke Skywalker doing dang dong commercial for Beamer Television.
Yeah. But after I get done with this Carl Black Chevy truck, I'm going to go get me some stuff, some good food down there in Atlanta. And sure enough, it's he's on the set of that commercial, and he's turning right to the camera. He's talking about, I'm going to have some type of taco from Thin Lizzie's in Dunwoody. And I was like, oh, man.
That's crazy. Luke Skywalker. He done seen Galaxy far, far away, but he knows about 10 Lizzie's, man. That's crazy.
That's straight up exactly the reaction I had. Like, oh, man. Luke Skywalker knows me. He knows I like them trash tacos.
For real, man? Because
they's good.
Absolutely love trash tacos. That is awesome. It's Burger King trash tacos.
Oh, man, I miss them things. I miss them. I don't know why that just popped in my head. It's just one of those things. I was like, that was kind of fun.
Fast food item that you miss the most. It's hard to pick just one. I'll transition to this and then I'll come back for the answer. But I was listening to Marty and Sarah, and Marty said that the crazy, stacky, beefy thing at Taco Bell is the spiritual successor to the chili cheese burrito. And I'm here to tell you, I Couldn't disagree more. Chili cheese
man.
burrito was absolutely extraordinary. The beef foldy whatever, it's nothing special.
I saw it and it looked too kind of Crunch Wrap Supreme. It's like, if I want a Crunch Wrap Supreme, I'll get that.
I'll get that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like the Crunch Wrap Supreme is much better because of the crunch, and that's the problem. Is it's just dough. I mean, it's just a big wad of dough with a hell of a lot of cheese and some. It reminded me, I've had that stupid Brad Pitt for Taco Bell commercial stuck in my head. Just every time I think about it, I just look at it like making ground beef, ship a bag of Doritos. Absolutely love that. Messy baby. That's one of the stupidest things I said it out loud that I ever loved, man. But I absolutely love his description of the Dorito Locos Taco, man. By the way, this is me channeling a dear friend who asked me this question. I did not have an answer, and I think she's 1,000% right. Why the hell do they still have those?
The Doritos tacos?
Yes, they are not good. They are not good. The Dorito Locos Taco is not good. I'm like, of all the crap, you just hacked your menu to nothing, but you kept those? Awful.
Yeah. They leave a lot. It's because I'm a soft taco person in the first place, and a Dorito's not enough to make me go for the hard shell.
My thing, if you wanted to do Dorito tacos at Taco Bell, I think there's a very simple way to do it, and it's the way that everybody does it with Subway. Man, this was the same person, actually. The same dear friend turned me on to this. You get your tuna sandwich, you get your bag of Doritos, you smash up your Doritos and then put them on the sandwich like it's salt and pepper. It's fantastic. If you did that on a soft taco, that would probably be really good. Mm-hmm. But it's like, yeah, man, the other thing, my thing with the hard shell tacos anymore is I like them, but dude, you buy them, you come home. By the time you get home, it's not just that the shell falls apart. It's that the shell and the paper merge. It's like they get together, and it's like, it's not that they break. They will break. It's like whenever you open it, it's going to rip half the bottom out. And I'm like, dang.
It's bad enough with the hard shell, but it seems like the Doritos do it even worse. The times that I have had them, it's like, man, I've never had one to be intact all the way through.
Seriously, they used to put them in those little paper boxes, man. Maybe that's why. You might be onto something, man. Oh, it's like whenever they get it together, they have to treat it like it's radioactive, man.
Precious.
Let's get it out the window. It's their problem, man. Yeah. That'd be my attitude.
We have fulfilled our end of the contract.
I like how I like that voice, man. That was great. You have no recourse, sir. Please leave.
It's your problem now. You left up your whole menu over a Dorito.
Or you could go pull on Happy Gilmore, just shove some ground beef in a bag of Doritos and throw it at him. Eat that, leave us alone.
Get out of here.
I'd love just to eat that, leave us alone. That is the best. I was watching something today that Bradley Whitford was on, and they were talking about him being on The West Wing and Westworld, and I'm like, how can you skip over Eric from Billy Madison? His finest hour.
That's the highest. That's the highest it ever was.
I know we've talked about it before, man, that one of the hallmarks of Adam Sandler movies is the people they cast to play the bad guys are out of this world fantastic. Shooter McGavin is great. Eric is great. I don't remember the guy's name, but God dang it, dude from American Beauty. I can't believe I forgot his name, man. The real estate king, but in Mr. Deeds.
Oh, Peter Gallagher.
Thank you. I know it's like it's a name that I should remember. That guy's awesome. It's like man, all the Happy Gilmore bad guys, the Adam Sandler bad guys are freaking awesome. It's not just, I mean, they're written well. That's cool, but it's who they get to play. I'm like, man, this is freaking awesome, y'all.
Yeah.
And Phil Hoffman was the bad guy in Punch Drunk Love, so there's another one to add to the list.
Oh man, that's
Oh God, dude.
DC.
That should not be half as funny as it is. I cannot explain how hilarious that is. And then, I know we were watching one of the outtakes, man, where he jumps off the roof and lands on the mattress and falls off. I'm like, How do you do that and then not put it in the movie? My God, man.
I would have been pissed. I'd have been thoroughly pissed. I almost broke my face.
Seriously, man, I'm about to die, man. What the hell's wrong with you, man? There's no place to put it.
Hey, man, we're going to do the first P.T. Anderson cutscene
Yeah,
at
seriously,
the end of the movie. So this is going in somewhere.
For real, man. Like the Curb Your Enthusiasm when you see the dude, Larry David, at some point.
Yep.
Absolutely. I know I told you, man. That's one of the funniest things I ever saw was if somebody was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm clips from YouTube and they were blanked out in Canada and it's like, this country does not authorize whatever Lottie died. That was the comment somebody left. You Larry David, this some bullshit. I absolutely love that.
Man, Curb Your Enthusiasm being run on network TV was one of the ones when it started. I was like, this is not going to work, and it didn't last. Just because, man, it's like, man, this is not going to translate. This is not the Seinfeld that you're expecting to just keep on and on and on, and we can edit out all the questionable language and situations, and it'll work. No, it's not. These need to be unedited.
The one I was thinking of, excuse me, I didn't go the Larry David route. I went the HBO route. And it's Sex and the City, because you can edit Sex and the City down. They did. It was on TV for a long time. So it was okay, but you're not getting that with Curb. There's no way. It will not work. So
they tried it with Curb. They tried it with South Park. It's like South Park, they got a little bit longer of a run than I thought they would, but it's like, man, this needs to be on the late night cable.
Absolutely,
for it to be worthwhile.
Yeah, if you're not going to run it for what it is, then don't bother. You're wasting your time because no one's going to watch it as anything else.
Yep. Heck yeah,
I'm
man.
sorry, I thought this was America.
America.
I was thinking about Randy's pants falling off the other day. It's just the explanation of why Randy's always going to jail pantsless is hilarious.
Yeah.
There's no explanation. He just starts fighting and his pants fall off. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's what's up.
That is exactly what's up, man. And oh crap, I got some TV stuff to run by you, and then I'll leave you be. I was talking last time we talked about there was Utopia, there was Upload. Those are definitely both worth checking out. And then I watched. It's interesting. I was going to say this with Adele earlier. People get mad at Adele for losing weight, and it's not often that Joe's 50-50. Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't. But I agree with him on this. I think giving people that are overweight a hard time when they lose weight, don't do that. I don't think that's cool. And I understand. I understand where the logic comes from. It's people coming out of the woodwork to kiss her ass for having lost weight pisses you off. So then you overreact and be like, grrr, like you're mad at her about it. And that sucks. Both of those things suck. Mm-hmm. But Eddie Bryant has a show called Shrill that I've never seen anything that addresses like body image the way that show does. Second season wasn't really my thing. It was okay. There were things, but the first season is really excellent. I really liked it. Huge girls influence, and I don't mean to be a jerk when I say that, but it's true. It's like John Cameron Mitchell is on it, playing basically the same character he was on there, down to the fact that he runs a little newspaper and she's writing for him. And it was weird. It's kind of like, it seems like Hannah's boss for that little bit of time on Girls. And that's something, let me be very clear. Eddie Bryant's character is not like the Girls on Girls, because the Girls on Girls were supposed to be caricatures of narcissism and selfishness. I don't think, it's weird. People always talk about, they're just awful people. And I thought that was the point. Maybe I got it wrong, but I thought that was the entire point. But anyway, Eddie's character is a lot more like a real person, where there are times that she's a real sweetheart and you love her, and there are times where she's really selfish, and there's times where she's right, and there's times where she's wrong. A lot more realistic. It was cool. It was real cool. I'm glad I watched it. But there are a couple of things, a couple of soliloquies on body image that she killed. They're really, really quite good and quite touching for a fat kid. But it's interesting. It's very interesting because there are different types of fat people. And basically the presentation of the what she talks about. What am I trying to explain, man? There are certain things that her boss winds up saying to her, where basically his take on it is, well, if you're fat, it's because you're lazy and don't exercise and you don't eat right and you just suck and it's your choice. That, unfortunately, but truthfully, that's the kind of fat person I am. If I would eat better and exercise more, I'm not going to be tiny. I'm not a small person. But most of my weight is excess, and it's because of what I do. A.D. Bryant's not one of those people. I know people who aren't those people. I know people that subsist on very, very low caloric intakes and just can't lose weight because it's genetics. And so the idea that we would talk about it, and you would talk about those, because no one ever talks about that. Everyone just assumes, and it's like, I just thought that was cool, man. It's like shit that doesn't ever really get talked about. It's quite neat. And again, the second season it's all right. It wasn't bad or anything. I guess my big swing and a miss was the boyfriend character, because it's just like, God damn, does everyone have to be fucking Andy from Parks and Rec? Jesus Christ, man, stop it. It's like, it's the midpoint between Andy and Adam from Girls. He's not mean like Adam, but he ain't good looking like Adam either. Because it's funny when you talk about Adam being kind of mean on the show. It's like, Adam Driver wasn't mean on that show. Like, you can have a crush on him. It's okay that you're into him. He was kind of mean. It's all right. Dude, we do it all the time, man. Girls are horrible, but if we think they're sexy, we're okay with that. It happens all the time, man. Anyway, very cool. It's called Shrill, and it's based on a book, and now I got to read that book. But I don't know. It's real cool when there's this one episode in particular, man, where she goes to this pool party, and that's all I want to say, man. It was really fantastic. Like, the episode was really, really cool, but there's this like interspersed story from her when she was younger. And I'm god awful when it comes to like gauging ages of people, but that kid's probably 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. But it's just that whole thing was well done, really well done, really, really cool, good stuff. I've been watching a crap ton of TV, man. Obviously, that and Warcraft. Good God, can't stop.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Can't stop. I'm three quarters of a point away from having everybody leveled up and maxed out, and I'm like, it's been a slog, man.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think that was it. A miniature TV review. I think that's everything.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Y'all be cool.
Take it easy, y'all. Thank you for watching.
Heck yeah.